Hey y'all, my name is Shan. Welcome to Cozy Womb Podcast. This is a series for Black fathers because Black fathers matter. Black fathers matter to me. Black fathers matter to my children. Black fathers matter when it comes to my brothers, my mentors, my friends. They matter because they set the tone for who our children look up to. They set the tone for how men, women, children, and other elderly people feel protected, feel like, everything they've struggled for was for a good cause because they've seen who they've become. And I want to, I just want to shine a light on them and hear from them in a perspective that sometimes goes unheard because no one cares to ask. Sometimes people look at fathers as if, oh, that's nothing. They're supposed to do that. Why would we, thank you for doing something you're automatically supposed to do? You shouldn't look for any, praise or any thank yous for that. That's standard. That's the basics. Do what you're supposed to do. But when you have a father that's there, that's consistent, that's available, that's attentive, that's caring, that's thoughtful, versus an absent father, versus a father that thinks his life and his now is more important than the child's future. There's a difference. There's a clear difference. And I just want to show appreciation. So this series, I've interviewed many fathers from different places, different backgrounds. And I really just want to pick their brains with different questions. So thank you for listening to Cozy Womb Podcast, and I hope you enjoy. This father right here, D, is a very hands-on dad. He likes to be within the essence of his boys. He has 2 sons, and throughout the questions, it was always structured on the basis of being present and being within his son's space, teaching them, giving them structure, manners, discipline, but also balancing it with doing kid-like things with them so they know it's not just all one way all the time. And that's very important. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Hey, it's Anya Dula, and I am the host of Intercultured with Anya Dula. Intercultured with Anya Dula is a podcast that focuses on motherhood, culture, birth work, and travel. And it's just a place for women to come together to discuss our philosophies on motherhood, to discuss our work and birth work, if that's what we do, but mainly to bring women of all different cultures together so that we can talk about how we mother, how we #do motherhood, so that we can learn from one another and learn to love each other. That's really what it's all about. I hope you'll join us. Intercultured with Anya Dula podcast is available on all the major podcast stations. I hope you'll join us. Can't wait to connect.
Here we go.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
This is Cozy Womb Podcast, and this is the Black Fathers Matter series. This is episode 10, and we have D. And
hey everybody,
what's goody? You are a father of how many children?
2 boys, 6 and 2.
Wow, you almost like
2
me.
boys.
You almost like me with the age range.
Yeah, they're a handful, but I love every minute of it.
Right. So, I know my two daughters, with their age range being 3 and 6, they are like really close, buddy sometimes, and then it's just constant nagging on each other and yelling. Is that like the same for you?
It is. Just the oldest, my 6-year-old, he's a great big brother. Mm-hmm. Always wants to teach his little brother everything. Like, they're two peas in a pot. At times, they're inseparable, but then at times, they got to go their own way. Like, one will go to the game room, one will be in their room. Like, and sometimes you cannot get them apart. But you can tell the love between the bond that they have is real. It's real. Like, if one of them get in trouble or the other one hears somebody whining or crying, the other one's going to go check on them and see what's going on. So I love it. Like, they watch out for each other at an early age.
That's good. Where were you born?
Yes. Like I said, I was born in Fort Benning, Georgia, which is right outside of Columbus, Georgia. Mm-hmm. I'm a military child, so that's my birthplace right there.
I didn't know that.
Most of my family is from Columbus. Yeah, most of my family is from Columbus, Georgia. So, well, my mom and dad's side, but my dad's side is originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. And did you live there, like, growing up, or did you move?
We traveled a lot. All the way up until middle school, we traveled a lot. I spent probably half my childhood in Germany. We lived in Texas. I don't really recall that, but the years in Germany, I did spend some of my elementary school years living in Europe. So I do remember those days, and I was actually over there when the Berlin Wall came down.
Oh,
when
wow.
the East and West became West. So yeah, I was over there in the late 80s, early 90s. I didn't understand it at the time. My dad always said, Daryl, you're part of history. You're witnessing history. So, like at my parents' house, I have a piece of the Berlin Wall there and everything like that. So it was. Now when I look back on it, I'm thankful for those memories and things like that. But me to say that I actually remember that part, no, I just remember running around, the neighborhood playing and just being a kid.
Do you have other siblings?
It was fun. Just me and my younger sister. We're 8 years apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, me and her, that's my homie there, though.
My first question for you is, what was today's goal as a dad showing up for your kids?
Today's goal, what was that for? I could just say pretty much. I just like to be present with my boys. As a male figure, I just want to be present. My dad was present in my life, so every day I just wake up and want to be present. I want my kids to always feel like Daddy's here. I can talk to Daddy. I can reach Daddy. I can communicate with Daddy. That's one thing I do want for my boys. Being that my dad was a military man, he was present, but then sometimes was he approachable? Because he's a military man. He had certain, it was like that invisible wall at times because but with my kids, I'm a little unorthodox with my boys because I just want them to be able to, especially this day and age, I feel like I want them to be able to communicate and come to Dad. I don't want to always be seen as the one that's going to be the disciplinary. I want to be able to be the one that, hey Dad, this is what's going on. This is what I like. And I think I have that. I like to be present. That's what I wake up every day, just to be present in their life. Do things that's unorthodox. Like, I kiss my boys before I leave in the morning. So it may not seem like the most masculine thing, I guess people would say, but I want them to know, Daddy, I love y'all. I'm here. So, I try to do things like that and just be present in their lives.
Yeah. And I don't even think it should be a masculine or non-masculine thing to do that. Like, showing affection to your
But you'd be
kids should be
surprised.
normal. It's so crazy.
I never realized that, and I will say, like, you know, growing up and just being around someone, you know, I have a strong group of friends, male friends. Like, we all been boys for most of my friends 20 plus years, you know. So, you know, that's always just this, you know, you just think about it when you grow up, like, especially I'm about to be 40. So a lot of our fathers grew up in that era of, hey, you got to be the strong one. Don't show no weakness. Don't show no emotion. Don't show this. So to make sure, like, not saying trying to break some of the stereotypes, you know, I want my boys to say, hug daddy. You know, daddy's going to hug you. I'm going to kiss on you. I'm going to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, naturally, most men would do that with their little daughters, and they'll show all that affection. I want to make sure I transcend and get that same affection to my boys. I'm like, yo, it's daddy's here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a nurturer. Not maybe to the extent of your mother, but I can nurture. I can be there for you. I have a side that I can tap into, that emotional side. And I want them to know that.
That's good. And that will help with how they deal with relationships, as far as like friendships and girlfriends and marriage, because a lot of men maybe get affection only from their moms, and then they get in a relationship and they don't know how to be caring because only their mom showed them that. And so they struggle with that. But if they get it from a male and a female perspective, they'll be like more balanced when it comes to sensitivity and having compassion. Yes.
Because how I look at it is, naturally, my boys gravitate to their mom. No matter, that's their mother. Like, it's a bond that I cannot explain. I don't think I can read enough books to even understand that natural bond that a mother and a son has. You know? But for me, I realize that my kids are just as open with them, with me, as they are with their mom. Like, they'll tell daddy anything. Like, she's, you know, it's very obvious. People like, yo, your kids really, they're like daddy boys. And sometimes you don't hear that sometimes. Like, you got daddy boys. Your little boys are really daddy boys. But mommy always is number one in their eyes. And it is not a competition. It's just that, you know, the mother is the nurturer by nature, I believe. Like, right. It's something about women in that relationship that I can never provide, because y'all birthed them. They came, you know, y'all 9 months.
It's a natural attachment. I think fathers, they have to like build it up. And mothers,
and that's what I've been working on.
Yeah, it's a natural attachment.
Yep. Absolutely.
How has fatherhood made you feel stronger as a Black man?
I think it gave me more purpose to know that I'm raising 2 future kings in this world that's Black, that I gotta be more of an example. It makes me watch what I do every day, the energy I put out, what I put into them, and to know that I guess that when I leave this, transcend from this earth, that, you know, they're gonna continue to live on and be great. And it helped me just understand. I think for me, just really, I feel like I have a whole lot more to live for now, because, you know, they both carry my last name, and like, hey, that's me. Like, they're going to have stories. They're going to be able to continue on a legacy of their own. And it's going to that's just me. That's my DNA. When I look at them and I see behavior, I'm like, that's me. And I never understood that. And I just feel like that has just gave me a new lease on life. Like, when my first son was born, it felt like I was born all over again. And I just had so much more to live for. Like, the materialistic things, a lot of things just didn't mean so much. I devalued them. And I valued love and just teaching and all of those things that I never knew that I could value, that had so much value, real value in my life. And that's what it was for me, you know. And that's what I want them to do, just be great young kings out here in this world. Like, hey, make your mark, you know what I'm saying? You know, make your mark in this world. You know, you're already faced with enough adversity just being based off your skin color, being Black in America. But continue to push forward and move this envelope and be great. Be great. Whatever you set your mind to, do it. And they help fuel me. I always used to remember people say, hey man, you think you financially ready? I said, I think I made more money having 2 kids than I did with none. I think I have more money now than I did when I was just by myself, because I think my priorities changed, my perspective changed, the things that I value have changed, and it naturally would just come to you without even knowing. And that's real. Like, hey, I feel like I'm better off now with 2 boys. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. It's just something every day I wake up and like, I got to make sure I got responsibilities.
Yeah, your drive is bigger because it's not just you, it's them. And you have 2 boys back to back, so you really don't have to like extend your spending. You just got to make sure, like, what can we use that we use for, this one? And
yeah.
And logically, you're not spending your money on things. You're spending your money on kids that they do need a lot, but the way that you raise kids and save money is you prep with them.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. The kids. That's what it's all about first and foremost in this world. It's about the youth in the generation.
Facts. What's the best advice your dad gave you about fatherhood?
My dad always said that. Let me think. The best thing he said about fatherhood. He dropped a lot of jewels on me, so it's hard to just pick one defining thing. Mm-hmm. But I guess I don't want to sound cliches. Being a provider is almost like you want to be, that's a given. But he just he didn't really say anything. Sometimes that stood out the most. Lead by his example, the way he is a father. Just be like your actions. Actions will always speak louder than words. Anybody can talk about being a good father, but your actions got to show that you want to be a good father and a human being. Anybody can talk a good game, but you got to demonstrate that day in and day out. And that's what he does.
Has he ever talked to you about how you father your sons? Like in like a commendable way, like, he wished he did that more, or, he liked how you do X, Y, and Z with them?
It just shows day to day, and it made our relationship that much better. How it just opened up everything there and our relationship, because so that pretty much was self-explanatory within itself right there. Like, our relationship went to another level after the birth of my sons, and I could tell how proud he is by the smile on his face, you know what I'm saying? The fact that we hug more, the fact that we do more things, because he was such a great provider that sometimes he did miss out on certain things in my life. But my dad he doesn't necessarily say it, he shows it. Like he is, I could tell how happy he is, you know what I'm saying? Just for me, like in our everyday conversation. Like, we talk a lot now, and when I was in my 20s, we didn't talk. He let me live my life, and he never tells me what to do as far as when it comes to raising my kids. Mm-hmm. And he lets me do, because we're in a different time. Yeah.
That just goes to show you that he has confidence in you that you can handle fatherhood in the right way. So he doesn't feel like he doesn't have to say much. So that's good.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Give me 2 words that explain the love you feel from your kids.
2 words. We want to come back to that, because I got to think of 2 words. It's a bunch of emotions. I got to find the correct adjective to describe that. But
I'm gonna start.
I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna start that one. Yeah.
All right. When my kids were born, this is a fill in the blank. When my kids were born, I instantly said this to myself.
Excuse the language. I said, I instantly said, "What the fuck?" I was scared. Well, I said, what the fuck? Like, like I said, my life just changed before me. Like, my life changed. It was never going back to what it was the day before once I held my son. I said, my life has changed forever. Yeah, so I said, what the fuck? My life has changed forever. That was my words. I was shell shocked. I could not prepare for everything. Every day is new to me. Every day is a new day. Every day my kids was going learning. It's a new day every day.
It is. Do you feel like you were more mentally prepared for the second one, or was it like both like a different type of shock?
Both was a different type of shock.
Mm-hmm.
The second one being that I actually had one of the little daughter, then I had a boy, and then it came to, oh, you got two young men you're responsible for that you're gonna raise. It was those same feelings over again, and then they both have such different personalities that every day, like I said, it's just a challenge and growth to deal with.
I was just about to ask you that. Do they have two different personalities? That's funny.
Two different, like the oldest is born on the exact same day as his mother, and then my youngest,
how did y'all do that?
He's like, hey, I do not know. And my youngest is, he's born like 7 days after my birthday, so my youngest has all the characteristics of me, personality wise. My oldest is just like his mom, and it's we laugh and joke about it all the time.
Y'all in the house and y'all can sense like what their next move is gonna be off of like their personalities. That's it.
So crazy. It helped our relationship because she sees things in her son. She's like, wow, y'all really like. So that's just really kind of like, I do believe in law of attraction, energy, and certain things like that. And she like, that's just y'all characteristics. That's just who y'all are. Y'all are exactly the same. I get it now. I get who you are, because your son is the exact same way. So it's really helped.
Ooh, that's good. Mm-hmm. That's good stuff. Yeah. How are you decompressing these days, like with everything that's going on, before you get in the house and you do what you're saying? Reading. You've been buying a lot of nice books now. I was like, well, I have to see what book this is that he got. You've been posting some books now, so that's good. So reading is your escape.
Yeah, and I like books that just, people think about how the brain works, or how to, how do you achieve certain things. I love books that I focus on that more so.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have so many books in here.
That's my big
one of the things that I ordered is a bookshelf, because I've been getting so many books, and I'm gonna put that together after we're finished. But yeah, I have so many books to read, and I gotta get to it. It's hard trying to read with the girls in here because they're just popping at any moment. But,
that's the goal, is to have our own library in the house.
Yes, I want. You know how houses have like a level just for the library and like a seating. Yeah. I want one of those.
Yep. That's the goal.
When do you feel the most engaged with your kids?
In the morning. In the morning, and I'm not gonna say I feel the most engaged. I feel like that's how we set the tone for the day. Okay. Whether if I'm working, it's by giving them a kiss and all that, letting them know daddy's going to work. They see the ethic, they see that, and then when I'm off, it's like me cooking breakfast. So they see the other side, like, wow, he works, he cooks, he does every little thing. Is like setting the tone for the day. Hey, we're gonna have a great day. Let's break bread together. Let's do this together. That's why I think the mornings are so important. Being there when they wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, one of the first faces they see in the morning, that means a lot to me. Just to let them know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Like I told you earlier, my thing is being present is something that I value so much. It's just being present in their life. like I say, we don't have to go out. Like, I got to sometimes do things that they want to do, which is sometimes they just want to run around the house or run around outside and play tag.
Yeah.
It's not about me going to buy them the newest shoes and doing that. Sometimes doing things on their level that they understand and they want to do, and being engaged in their life that way.
Yeah.
So, that's
one thing that the quarantine did teach me is simplicity is better than more and bigger and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we figure out ways to do so much stuff in this house. Even like from teaching them for the last 3 months of school that they couldn't go. That was like a learning thing for me, for the younger one, my 3-year-old, because she learns differently. But even like her birthday, we didn't go anywhere. I made her a cake. I ordered her gifts. We had like a Zoom birthday thing going on in here. It was very simple, and I didn't come out of pocket crazy. And I'm just like, man, she had a good time. She doesn't know the difference. So it definitely made me reflect on what really matters and what kids really want. So.
Nah, you're right. You're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah. What's the worst fear as a Black father that you live with every day?
Dying. I just want to be able to live. I want to be able to see my kids' dreams, fulfill their dreams. That's just my fear. Just dying early, where I won't get to see them live out their dreams or just see them become an adult. That's just my fear. Dying, and that's either from, through the hands of racism, police being Black, and just health. I make sure I work out now, eat right, because I know I gotta keep my body in shape, just along with my mental. And that's just my big. I want to be able to. I want to see them grow up. Mm-hmm. Like I'm about to be 40. My parents were able to see their child turn 40. So I had my first child when I was 34. So I want to be able to see at least my son turn 34, 40. I want to see that. I live every day to want to just see them grow up and just see how they navigate through life. That's it.
That's good. Is it true that fathers feel like their work for their kids is never finished?
Elaborate what you mean. Their work
so like fathers, the real engaged fathers that I know, they're always like finding something to do or something to fix. I need to do this for the kids, or I need to prepare this for the kids. Do you ever feel like you can always do more, or you need to do more, or you need to do something instead of relaxing? Yeah. And that's on so many different levels. Like randomly, like for me, like I see things you post about how you taught your daughter, your kids how to do right, fill out an envelope. So for me, my son's learning how to work on his penmanship. So he loves wrestling. So once again, I said sometimes you gotta get on their level. So he may tell me about a wrestling cat. Well, go to the Xbox and write down your 5 favorite characters. It's a way to get engaged. So that's me always finding new things to do. To help my child, to keep pushing them without even them even knowing that I'm pushing them to be at the best that they can be. So he wanted Chick-fil-A that day. Well, write down Chick-fil-A, spell Chick-fil-A, write it down 10 times for me, and write down what you want from Chick-fil-A. I'm finding creative ways. Huh? I said, come on,
what
challenge. Was that? Yeah, I said, that's a challenge. Come on.
Yeah. So, it's just about finding different ways. And yes, your job, my job will never be done. Hell, I think my dad still every day, I know he prays for me. Every day he's pushing me to be the best that I can be in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Like I said, he's a person that leads by example, but he may drop a little, hey, make sure you're paying your bills. That's just a reminder. make sure you're doing right. Your voice might take care of your responsibilities, Hey, he may see something at the house, like, hey, these steps, you can buy this to reinforce it. Little things like that is always passing wisdom along, passing knowledge along. So your job is never done as long as you're communicating and passing that on to your offspring.
Okay, now I get it, because I don't know, I feel the same way. Like, even when I'm in the house and I think I'm relaxing, during my relaxing, your kids always come to you with a million questions, and it's kind of like you can't shoo them away, because this is when they're like absorbing everything. And then when they feel like they can't come to you with something, then that's going to be an issue.
It's the cycle of life. You're going to always be teaching your children, no matter what.
Yeah.
Your experience, your life experience. One day they're going to be 20-something years old. You was once 20, so you're going to give your teaching through your experiences. That's what history books are. It's experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's
well,
it. So that's what you're going to always be doing.
I always think now that, like, we're going to be the most documented, like, grandparents and parents, because our grandparents didn't have, like, Twitter, they didn't have Facebook. You couldn't get, like, a flashback to, like, what they were doing. Everything's so digital now. So it's kind of like, even if you don't live to see your great-great-grandchildren, you can still talk to them now and leave them a message, in a way. So, I don't know.
You're right.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What was the best feeling as a boy about the idea of the ultimate dad?
What was the best idea of a boy of the ultimate dad?
So when you were a boy, in your head, like, you had your dad, but, like, while you had your father, what was, like, your idea in your mind about, like, man, this would be, like, the best dad ever if he did X, Y, and Z, or if I was a dad, I would do X, Y, and Z for my son or my daughter. Like, what was that thought that you had?
Well, for me, like I said, my dad was military, so it was more so sometimes just, I guess, and he still tells me today, I'm not here to be your friend, I'm here to be your parent. And I guess sometimes I just want him to be, like, oh, Dad, just be a little relaxed. But I realized my dad was super cool, because all my friends would tell me, yo, your dad's cool. I just I didn't see that at that time, how cool he was. And it's not about being cool, but how open and receptive he was to feedback, conversation. Because I just always look at him, my dad, like, but no, my dad was really laid back. In hindsight, when I look at it, like, yo, he really let me be me, develop, fall, get up, find my way as an adult and as a child and as a man. Eventually, he let me find that. So during that time, I always thought my dad wasn't cool, and I wanted him to be super cool. Like, I wanted to be able to, like, yo, Dad, let's go hang out here, let's go do this. Or I wanted to be able to watch Def Comedy Jam at the time around my dad. He wouldn't do that. But I see why. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You have to provide some sense of shelter and censorship around your children. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that was going to be a cool dad. But really, I realized, like, he was doing what I do now. You have to have some type of order and discipline in life.
Yeah. Do you feel like you exude the cool dad for your kids?
Sometimes I don't.
Why you said that?
Because I think I may exude the cool dad by the way I dress. But sometimes I will turn off the TV. I will make them read, write. I will take away electronics. So sometimes, no, I'm not the cool dad. No. But I may look like the cool dad because of the way I dress, my appearance. But as far as what discipline and doing that, sometimes no, and that's fine. No, you have to do this. You got to do your homework. Or we need to do this. Or no, you're not going to talk like that. You're not going to do this. No. There's a way I want you to behave. So no. And at that time, I know I'm not the cool dad. Like, no, you're not going to eat ice cream 6 times a day.
I think when they get older, they will take the pieces that they feel like were cool about you, and then the pieces where you made them have structure and manners, they'll respect once they get older and be like, okay, that's why he did it. He wasn't doing it to be mean. He wasn't doing it to tease. Because for me, I had a strict dad that I didn't spend enough time with, and then I had a mom that was too lenient. She was too easy, and I wish she had more discipline with me more. So it's good that you're finding your balance. It's good.
Got you. You're right. And that's my dad. He was, like I say, he was pretty strict. At least I thought he was, but he really wasn't that strict. When I really look back on my life, and like, oh, he really wasn't. You was just very opinionated. You said some things I didn't agree with it at that time.
Yeah.
But, I always look at it.
When do you feel the most appreciated as a father?
Every day. Every day. My kids make me feel like that. Every day. Like, just every day. Just the when they call me dad, I feel appreciated like that. You really calling me dad, or when they just want to come sit by dad.
Would you ever allow them, at what age, if you will, but would you ever allow them to call you by your first name?
Alright, so no. And it's crazy because my dad never called. My dad had 7 brothers and sisters, so it's 8 of them total. They never called their mom or dad by they called them mom and dad. They called them by their first name.
Wow.
But my son, nah, I wouldn't want him to. But no. But like right now, he may call me by my first name. I'm playing, but I get it because that helps his brother know what my real name is. Especially, I want him to know if something was to happen, what his dad's full name. So no, I don't want him to, and I probably would never let him. But we're joking around. Somebody went to hear it's because we're playing. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows when I call him by his whole full name.
Yeah.
It's serious. You're in trouble. When I call him, and I think he mocks me with that.
Yeah, I've been teaching Anya my first and last name since she was about 2, so she knows it. And then 3 months ago, I started teaching Aria my first and last name because just so like in an emergency, if they're lost, I want them to know my legal first and last name. I want them to know their legal. That's the same here. Yeah, and I'm teaching them like my phone number because I changed it, so they have to relearn my phone number. And I think as a respect, no, your kids shouldn't call you by your first name. And I had to implement that within myself as a mom because my mom allowed us to call her by her first name. And things like that, people always look at me like, are you crazy? You can't do that. And I'm just like, my mom is not like that. And I was never taught growing up that you can't call your parent by their first name. She never taught me that. And now, like, I have to figure out what am I going to allow as a parent. And so, yeah. Emergencies, cool. Non-emergencies, no.
Yep. Right.
Has your ideas about fatherhood changed since you've been in it?
No. They probably, everything I ever thought, it exceeded it, and even more. Like being a father, being a parent is just the greatest thing ever to me right now. Love it. Love it. Wouldn't trade it in for the world.
Do you feel like you were properly prepared to have children?
I always feel like you're never prepared. I feel like your life experiences is going to prepare you because I was raised with 2 parents. People that wasn't raised with 2 parents, maybe just 1 parent. But that doesn't mean they're going to not be a great parent or a great father or mother. I think it's really just once the opportunity comes, or not even opportunity, once you're blessed with that, the gift of life, it just does something to you that you take it and you run with it, and you be the best person that you can, and you just go from all you pull from your experiences, and you just be the best person and the best parent you can. Nothing can ever prepare you for it. Nothing. Like, I guess some people say, "Oh, you came from an ideal two parents." Nothing. Like, you go.
Yeah, I've seen people look like they come from the best of the best, and they have kids, and they're just like clueless about how this is supposed to go, and it's all about balance. And even if you could give your kid the world, you shouldn't, because if you give them the world, they're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to understand the idea of earning anything. So I see it all the time, where it's like, oh, you've had it so easy, and then life hits you with kids, and you're just like, man, how much do I have to pay to make somebody do this for me? No, you got to do it. You got to do that. What is the most BS excuse that a father could make to their kid?
I don't have time. You make time. You find time, and time is the one thing you can't put a dollar amount on. You make time. You find time. Period.
I agree. What are 3 things you wish you could improve or change for Black fathers?
Start out, because I got to put some thought into that.
Okay.
We got to put some more thought into that. We start out.
Okay, so we got 2. We coming back 2 for you. Okay.
All right.
So let's see. What do you do to mentally protect your son's Black boy joy in today's society?
I'm not gonna say what I don't know if it's protecting it, but I teach them and I let them see what's really going on. I like my 6-year-old, he knows what's going on right now, and we have real conversations. I think that he's at an age where he's absorbing so much that I gotta let him know the real, understand what's really going on out here, because he lives in it. And I want him just to know that Daddy's never. I'm not gonna lie to you about the reality of the world. I can shelter you from certain things, but every day your skin color depicts what you're gonna go through out here. People look at you a certain way. He went to a Montessori school. He was a handful of Black kids in a classroom, so he knows that he's different. And so he's just being transparent and honest. That's what I do to protect him, because the more you educate yourself, that's your shield, that's your protection, is knowledge and knowledge. Being knowledgeable, being aware, that's your protection right there. It's not me hiding it from you. When you educate yourself, you're comfortable going out into society and dealing with things and dealing with the realness of the world.
Right.
That's your armor. That's your armor.
Knowledge is key.
Did you check your text? Can you check your message real quick
for
me? I just shot you a quick message. Check that real quick for me.
Okay. So let's go back to this question. The 2 words to explain the love you feel for your kid.
The 2 words that explain the love that I have for my kids. Blessed and joy. That's just too. It may not be the best too, but
that's the best too. I mean, so many things could come from that. That's the best too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, like
I feel like you're having the ultimate experience fathering, and I like to see everyone that I knew from like back in college like grow up and have this extended life, and they're just growing in it constantly. Like nobody's retracting in anything, and I just love to see what your experience is raising these boys, and I just want to say thank you for being engaged father and just wanting to do it better and doing everything to make that possible. So thank you for doing that, D, and happy Father's Day.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You enjoy your night.
All right.
Bye.
I will. Bye.
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 Hey there! Did you know Baker's always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower than low prices? And when you download the Baker's app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Baker's today. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.